Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Josh Halter, owner and founder of The BioDude. Definitely check me out on Instagram, on Facebook, visit thebiodude.com. And today I'm going to go over with you how to maintain your Terra Firma Bioactive Terrarium. So my Terra Firma does come in two sizes. Here's my 36 quart size, which weighs about 30 pounds. And then I have it in the 6 quart size that weighs about 4 pounds. 6 quarts equivocates to about 1.5 gallons of substrate, for those that aren't sure. So, as you can see in front of me, I have a 36 by 18 by 18 with 2 of my corn snakes in there. They are Fierce and Nagini. We have had Fierce since she was the size of an earthworm, and she is maybe 9 years old. And the substrate that's in here is as old as Nagini is. So, essentially, for the Terra Firma Bioactive Terrarium, there's a couple different things that you'll use to make the Terra Firma work extremely well. And the first thing is my AAA sphagnum moss, and what I will do is I will mix this thoroughly throughout the entire enclosure. Not only does this help with aerating the soil, but it breaks down, provides nutrition for your soil, as well as helps create humidity pockets, which you can concentrate more in one area if you want, which is really good for snakes and your other burrowing lizards, because it helps with hydration, it helps with shedding, and it helps with respiration, which is extremely important in your captive reptiles. The next thing, obviously, is your leaf litter. This is the staple. You put the leaf litter on the top so it's broken down by your cleanup crew, as well as the other natural biological processes that the dude utilizes to provide fuel for your terrarium. So think as the leaves as fuel. Next thing is my southern palm bark. If you guys know me, this is the bee's knees. What this is it slowly breaks down, providing nutrients for your soil. But if you are using springtails and isopods, with addition to the BioShot, the bugs love this stuff and they will breed prolifically with it. Next thing is the cork bark pieces. So I sell these for $7.99 with free shipping. On my website, it's approximately half a pound of small cork pieces. This is great for culturing bugs as well as dumping into the soil, mixing into to basically create a microbial hot zone, which continually emits nutrients into your soil, helping with the sustainability, as well as food for your insects and more things that your snake can rub up against to help with shedding and things like that. So, as you can see here, my corn snakes, all the plants are thriving. So what's interesting here is you can see the shed right here. So you see it, and then it goes into the Schefflera, and then it starts being broken down the second it hits the Schefflera. And then you can see it disintegrating down into here with just a couple little bit of pieces right over in here. And those little pieces are left because it is being broken down, and you can see it here in the front. So a little bit got into the water dish, but this shed is literally being broken down and cleaned on its own. I lift up, you can see a lot of life in here. You can see a bunch of isopods moving, see a bunch of springtails, and of course I have a very healthy amount of BioShot in here. The substrate in this vivarium is 9 years old, not kidding. I have added more Terra Firma to it as Nagini got bigger. I started Nagini out in a 5-gallon tank. She was this big. And I bought her for Danielle thinking, well, you know, this snake's not going to survive. It's entirely too small for a corn snake. And look at her now. She's big and healthy and, you know, pushing on, you know, 9.5 years old. And then Fierce is in here as well. There in the tube. As far as maintenance for your Terra Firma goes, I like to make sure that I'm misting the enclosure at least twice a day, because it really helps maintain your the humid aspect of it. And the substrate layer, which you can see clearly right here, it is always going to be dry at the very top. Okay, and this is really good for your sedentary animals like ball pythons, so they don't get skin rot. And then the deeper you go, the slightly more moist it gets. And then of course there's humidity pockets, so you can see humidity pockets here. You can actually see some of the mycorrhizal in action here and here. So this looks like mold, and essentially those are just nutrients breaking everything down in little sections of the soil, showing you that your soil is doing a good job at maintaining its health and sustainability. So I have a total of 4 Mist King nozzles that go off for 45 seconds twice a day in here. For your Terra Firma setup, I would recommend misting the enclosure once a day for an extended period of time, so maybe like 30 pumps with your hand mister, or if depending on the species, you can up it depending on what you need, as long as you are getting the desired consistency with the top layer being dry and the middle and bottom layers staying wet. You don't ever want to overwater your Firma, and you'll know if you're overwatering if water starts pooling at the bottom. If water starts pooling at the bottom, you need to stop misting and you need to let the tank dry out. Because what will happen is it'll become too wet, it'll become waterlogged because you're putting too much water in. The Firma will retain the proper humidity and work its course perfectly as long as you keep it at the moisture level that it needs to function. And as long as it's dry at the top, the middle, and bottom moist, you are set. And you know, this is probably one of my favorite tanks, you know, that I have, just because it, you know, it's been thriving, and the snakes in here are thriving. And let me see if I can find any more bugs in here. Usually they're covering. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them in here at the bottom, all in here, and you can see the different humidity spikes, and they have tunnels through all out here. So, you know, pretty straightforward, guys. As far as cleaning their enclosure, I haven't cleaned this cage in years. I'm not exaggerating. I really have not done much with it, with the exception of, you know, I added some different pieces as they got bigger. You know, I would transition out some of the plants, like for the Scheffleras, that can handle the adult size. I didn't want a massive tree in there for corn snake this big. So, you know, as far as urates, I have noticed that I have to pull urates. But that's with almost every bioactive enclosure. Sometimes I've noticed that my car's all, you know, taking care of it, but it doesn't seem to all the time. Other than that, I haven't had to do anything as far as spot cleaning is concerned. Again, guys, my name is Josh Alter, owner and founder of The BioDude. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Dude abides.